Hey everyone, welcome back to The Range. My name is Matt, also known as the Ammo Nerd. You like this shirt? I got it from Midwest Armor, a throwback to the early 2000s forum days. If you know who this is, drop a like below. Anyways, we have a 5.56x45mm or 5.56 NATO test to do today. In full transparency, I myself purchased this ammunition from Crate Holdings LLC. This is our MK318 Mod 1, a 62 grain load. Let's throw this guy on the table and talk about what we're going to do today. Now, because I only bought 3 boxes of this, we're going to have to do an abbreviated velocity test. We have barrel lengths from 7.5 inches all the way up to including 22. After we've done that, we're using our Pro Chrono Pal Digital DLX. We're going to step out to around 100 yards and check a practical accuracy test. We're testing this at the same time as we're testing our M855A1, and after that we're going to throw some against some clear ballistics gel to see what kind of terminal effect we can get. We're going to shorten the amount of barrels we use for this particular load because I only have the 3 boxes. We'll start off with our 10.5 inch SBR here. Okay, Deacon. Now we'll grab our 16 inch. This is our Springfield Hellion or Croatian VHS 2 rifle. And now our 22 inch. This is our TC Compass. Here's our MK318 Mod 1 at 100 yards using the TC Compass with a 22 inch barrel, a 16 power first focal plane scope, the JK Armament rifle kit. It's around 45 to 50 degrees outside today, a little bit of wind. Our first group was 2.167 inches, not too bad. And the second group, this was the first shot. I was holding right there. My scope offsets are a little off. And that guy was right there. And then the other 4 were right there, 3.238 inches. As a comparison, here is M855A1. Those groups would be arguably better, 1.720 inches and 2.814. I wanted to try our MK318 Mod 1 out of our 14.5 inch barrel. This is with the Turbo T3 and our 18 power first focal plane scope, 2.630 inches at 100 yards, lead sled, on a bench, 50 degrees outside today, sunny. I have a 6x6 by 16, 10% clear ballistics gel block at 12 feet. Now, there's a lot of discussion online about the validity of our clear gel, and it shouldn't be, the results shouldn't be compared to organic. So anything you see here in our clear gel probably shouldn't compare it to organic, but this just gives us a general idea of what we're going to expect from this bullet. We'll start with the 7.5 inch. Now, it's a good thing I put that backup block on top of it. We have almost instantaneous neck from the 7.5 inch. You can see some disruption going on right there. And our first tumble occurs right around the 1.5 to 6 inch mark. It's traversing upwards almost immediately after. From the 7 to the 11 inch mark is the second tumble. And then all the way out here to the 15 inch mark is our bullet. It looks unaffected. Now, it did technically travel more than 15 inches because of its upward path, but that's where it ended. Very, very interesting. Probably wouldn't pick this particular bullet in a 7.5 inch unless you didn't want any fragmentation to occur. Interesting. Now, in the grand scheme of things, a 10.5 inch, 16 or 20 will give you this result at quite a bit of range. shot that a little high, folks. That's better. Sorry, I had to shoot that one again. You can see on both examples, the top and the bottom, we have about a 1-inch neck. We have some fragmentation occurring that spreads out from the original wound path right to about the 4-inch mark. Then we get into the 4 to 5 to about 10-inch mark, and you can see some fragmentation coming off there. Not too shabby. We have a good fragment at around 10 inches. We have some more out to the 14 and 15, 16-inch mark. Then our bullet settles down, leaves this first block, and then all the way out to the 27-inch mark is the base. He's kind of right in there. He's hard to see. Quite a bit of penetration. Seems like that particular bullet design, bare minimum you'd want would be the 10.5-inch, maybe more ideal. And the 16, we'll find out in a second. Woo! That was a good block jump. Busted out a brand new block. Mech is about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. We've got fragmentation starting right there. Fairly wide permanent wound cavity from about the 2.5-inch all the way out to right around the 11-inch mark. It dies down a little bit. You can see it's starting to get smaller. Whatever that core is inside of that bullet, I think it's compressed copper of some kind. Someone will correct me in the comments below. But we go the entire 32 inches of the block, and then I put that backup block, and there is our core right there. So this particular bullet is very good at lots and lots of penetration. Personally, you know, your mileage may vary. I would want most of that energy and destruction deposited in this first block out to the 16 to 18, maybe 20-inch mark, kind of like our M855A1. Nice. Holy wound cavity, Batman. Look at that. Very instant neck. Huge wound cavity there. All that copper junk just spilling out. Right out to the 7-inch mark is that fragment. And then we have pretty much straight line penetration again through 16. And then even 32. Look at that bullet. He goes right at about 33 inches is that base. We'll get him out in a second. But wowzers, Batman. Again, I would say that's a little too much penetration, in my opinion, for personal protection, self-defense, law enforcement. But if you need something that's going to penetrate quite a ways, that core on the Mark 318 is going to do it. Again, I feel M855A1 is superior. There we go. Looks like no matter how much we crank the velocity up, that base up to that first cantilever in a little bit is always going to stay intact on our Mark 318 Mod 1. Well, folks, there you have it. I would say our velocity for a 62 grain loading isn't too bad. We've certainly seen hotter from some of our earlier lots of M855A1, but I feel this fell right in line with what we were seeing on the same day as our current production M855A1 and our control lots. As far as accuracy goes, I would say it's pretty much run-of-the-mill, a little bit on the subpar side, but better than, say, M855. But I think our M855A1 did better when we tested this. As far as our gel results go, when we stepped up our barrel length, we had quite a bit of terminal effect out of that bullet. But on the flip side, we had lots and lots of penetration, which you may not want. Again, your mission dictates what kind of bullet selection you'll need. I'm just here to provide you guys with some insight into how some of this stuff will perform, so that if there's something on the internet that says, oh, you should just trust this load because it's so-and-so, and you kind of like to question things like I do sometimes, you can come across my video and find this information to be rather helpful, and then you can send yourself on your merry way. With all that being said, it's time for me to get the heck out of here, but at the end of all my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who help make these possible, because there's a lot that goes into them. Number one is my family. They're out here and they help me get a lot done. Number two is my Patreon, Subscribe Star, and YouTube channel memberships. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these videos. But I have a campsite in the description below with it's a landing page with various different links or discount codes or affiliate tracking links, and that costs you nothing. And if you want to say thank you to the channel and you don't want to join Patreon or something, using one of those links will earn me a sales commission, and I put that right back in the channel. Like I said, I purchased that ammunition. Number three is Crate Holdings LLC, again, who had that for me to buy with no strings attached. And of course, number four is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range.